Joining me today is Chad.
Hey,
welcome
good to be here.
to Our Story Studios.
Good to be here.
Chad, share with the folks who you are and what you do.
I am a lawn care company here based out of Fairmont. We predominantly service fertilizer programs with weed control. And we'll talk a little bit later about how that's evolved. But we've been doing lawn care work since 2008.
Wow.
Purchased the business from a local company here in town, a local family here in town.
Awesome. So share with the folks how this has evolved when you say you started in 2008. Tell us a little bit more about how it was then and how it is today.
Well, back in 2008, I got a phone call from a classmate of mine. His dad passed away, so they were looking at moving the business along, and it was an opportunity, so I took it and been moving forward ever since. And we started with about 200 fertilizing and spray clients, and we've more than doubled that since then. So that's been good. And as we were doing that, you get one person to ask you to mow their lawn, and the longer I've done this, the more I realize that a good lawn, there's more to it than just fertilizing and spraying for weeds. So if you mow at the proper height, that makes a big difference on the health of your lawn. So that's kind of why I got into the mowing part, because of, I don't want to say dissatisfied customers, but customers wondering why their lawn wasn't as nice as they
Totally
felt
taking care of all their lawn needs in every aspect.
Correct.
Very cool.
So then we got into the mowing part, and then with that also that kind of led into us servicing some irrigation work, because if you don't water it properly, it creates issues with your lawn also. So we started saying, if we can take care of your irrigation, we can make sure it gets watered properly to give you the best lawn possible. And then, of course, the key to any business is good employees, especially around small business. So in order to keep my key employees around, we started snow removal,
So now you keep them year round and do the whole package.
We do the whole package,
Wow.
yes. So it has evolved quite a bit, and it all based on giving everybody the best lawn possible. That's our focus, that's our goal, and all of it kind of comes together. And I tell everybody all the time, it's a three-piece system, if you want to call it that. It's obviously us. It's 33% as far as the program, as far as the weed control and the fertilizer. It's proper mowing height. If you're not mowing at 3 inches or higher, you're putting a deficit to your lawn. And Mother Nature, giving your lawn an inch of water a week. That's kind of what the standards are, so that's what we shoot for.
Sure. Tell me, you mentioned employees. How many employees do you have?
We have 5 full-time employees right now. So, it's kind of grown, and that's where the snow removal comes in. So some years are better than others when it comes to snow, but the last 2 years have been pretty rough, but this year's been welcome light year, if you want to call it that.
Absolutely.
So
nice. Chad, I know you're a Fairmont person, grew up in Fairmont. Share with the folks a little bit about you personally as far as family and such.
Yeah, I graduated here in Fairmont and been living here all my life, and I've got 3 kids, a wonderful wife, and I got a senior this year.
Senior?
Yep. So we're going through that, and I love this town.
Chad, I'm assuming you have some programs and some plans that people can take advantage of?
We do, and that's one of the things that it's really evolved into is packaging it all together. We have property maintenance, lawn care, and snow removal packages, so a year-round package, or you can do just I call it the growing season package, from April, depending on the weather, to the time it first snows. But we package it all together and divide it by 7, so back to the month, we'll say a monthly payment, and it works real well for people because it's those that are on a budget. They know what they're going to spend every month.
That's awesome.
For everything, So, because a couple years when the snow's heavy, they don't like getting that $600-700 a month snow bill to where they know their set fees. So, we contract, I'm going to say all but 2 or 3 people.
Really?
For the season. So everything's contracted. It's simple. It's easy. It works well for me because I can budget. It works well for them because
Well,
they can
and
budget.
as a person who would use it, how nice to know that it's just taken care of. You don't have to worry about your lawn. You don't have to worry about your snow removal. You don't have to worry about the grass is growing or not growing and
Right.
weeds and such. That has to be a tremendous asset to anyone that owns a home.
Obviously, our goal is to give you the best curb appeal we can, you know. So when we do this, you know, I'll just give you our typical rundown for the season. When we do a property maintenance package, is first thing we do is go out, pick up any leaves that were left over from the fall. So
Okay.
we go through the lawn, clean it up, clean out the landscape, make sure everything's nice and clean, and then we can start with our lawn care program. And then we just go on a monthly mowing, trimming cycle, you know,
Maintenance thing,
maintenance.
yeah,
Yeah,
you
just
bet.
the typical mow. We also take care of the details. That's what I think we come in and offer a little bit more service than some of the other companies might, is we make sure that there's no weeds growing in the cracks of your sidewalks and your driveways. We trim the shrubs and your landscape. We take care of that twice a year. So in the spring and the fall, we make sure that that's taken care of.
Now, are all these custom, obviously, because some people have shrubs, some people have large yards. You come out, you give them an idea what this would be or will be as far as cost,
Yes,
correct?
I quote it every year. I send out a new contract and give them the opportunity to add, subtract,
Sure.
change, do what have you, and works really well. Like I said, I've got a lot of people that are taking advantage of it, and it works well for both parties. And that way we got the guaranteed work and they got the guaranteed
Absolutely.
cost, so it works really well. So that's how the program has evolved, and it keeps growing every year because they like that they don't have to call 4 or 5 different people to take care of the services we do. We just take care of it, you know. Ask how many homeowners have cut a cord on an electric hedge trimmer.
Absolutely.
So I hear that story quite a bit,
I'm
you know.
sure.
So they don't have to worry about that. But you know, part of the package too is freeing up some garage space. I always tell everybody I could free up a single stall garage space with the services we offer. You will not need that stuff anymore.
So tell me, Chad, difficulties. Are there projects that are turn into bigger, or people have more needs that you need to help with?
There is. You know, the biggest call we get about is bad areas in the lawn. You know,
Of course.
every lawn isn't. I mean, you look at the football field. Everybody wants a football field or a baseball field or like their golf course, right?
Yep.
And I'll use the golf course as an example. If you go in the rough out into the trees, the lawn's usually not pretty good underneath the trees, right? So it's kind of the same thing at your house. There's a couple streets here in town that are full of maple trees. We all love our maple trees because they change leaves, they look beautiful. But at the end of the day, it is very difficult to get grass to grow under a maple tree just because they're so dense, the shade. So any heavy shaded areas cause problems. You know, the tree roots are so close to the surface, they're taking all the nutrients and the water from the turf itself. I've also got some areas that between fences and trees and houses, there's no airflow, so you get a lot of moss growing, and it never dries out.
Sure.
So it causes moss to grow. You know, and at the end of the day, there's also, you know, the soils are just poor. You know, we do a lot of soil samples, send them to the lab, and everybody's pH is high and missing micronutrients, you know. So in our programs, we try to add some of that stuff back in our everyday program. But if you really want to move that process along, there's we do a lot of individual programs and put products on based on what the soil sample says. So
Well, just from what you said right there with these problems you're addressing, makes it even more appealing to have a service that can take care of all these issues.
yeah, it's nice to be right around the corner.
Absolutely.
You know,
And now you're right here in town.
we are right here.
So
in town.
I'm sure you have a website, Facebook, and the like,
We do. You
Okay.
can look us up anytime.
and they'll find pictures of projects and what's going on and different things.
We are. Mike's been taking care of that and does a real good job with
It's
it.
become a big part of our life.
It has.
It's how to maintain this,
It
not
has.
even have it, but to
has.
maintain and put it
It
together.
has. And I'd like to just say thanks to all the clients that have supported me and my company for the last, since 2008. So, and we'll continue to strive to do our best for you and do what we can.
Well, we're proud to have you on the show, a local business doing well and serving our community. Thank you, Chad.
Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate it.
Well, there you have it, another episode of Martin County on TV. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and we welcome you to tune in again. Thank our sponsors for making this happen, and remember, it's not just the past, but the present that tells our story.